You can't have guns, but guess who can? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Chicago news crew being robbed at gunpoint while covering a story about robberies live on the scene. Now, this is of no surprise. If you guys know about Chicago, you know that it's violent, it's dangerous. They have very tight gun laws. They're very strict about things like that. So if you're a regular normie citizen, you got to jump through hoops of fire to get your firearm, to protect yourself, to practice your rights under the Constitution. You got to go through a lot to do that. But if you're a criminal, a regular hoodlum, a robber, a thief, whatever it is, you can have whatever you want. You can have semi-automatic, fully automatic, whatever you want. You got it because you're not following the law. Those who want to follow the law and be law-abiding citizens, they are often left vulnerable, as apparently the news crew was. Now, I don't think there's footage of the news crew being robbed, but we do have other footage of robberies that happen the exact same way. And before we go any further into it, let's go ahead and roll the clip. As always, the clip will be available in the description box without my commentary. If you are on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Chicago police catch a suspected armed robbery crew last night, but then another crew robbed several victims this morning.
WGN's Dana Rebick is live in North Lawndale with more on this. Dana.
Well, between a 2-hour time span this morning, there were 10 armed robberies. Those happened in several neighborhoods on the west side, including Douglas Park, Westtown, and the lower and near west sides.
Okay, just can I pause for a minute? Do y'all see what I see? Am I seeing a homeless encampment behind her? I'm seeing a blue tent right here over her, what appears to be left-hand shoulder. And then I'm seeing another little blue and yellow. There might be one more tent back there. What am I looking at?
In each of these incidents, the victims described between 2 to 5 armed offenders. They were seen fleeing in a white sedan, one victim describing that vehicle as a Kia. The first robbery happened just before 3:30 this morning.
If it was a Kia using the robbery, I'm willing to bet all the tea in China, all the cash in my pocket that the Kia was stolen, because you got this whole trend going on with the Kia boys where they go and they steal the cars. I think they steal Kia and Hyundai with iPhone chargers. If y'all know about that, y'all let me know in the comments. Let's keep on going.
The 4400 block of West 5th. The crew then hit victims on West Grand, South Campbell, Southwestern, West Cermak, South Allport, West Lake, North Ashland, and West Grenshaw. Police say in several of the incidents, the victims were assaulted as well. Around 4:30 this morning in the 600 block of West Cermak, a 67-year-old man leaving a business there was robbed and hit over the head. The last 2 incidents happened between 5:20 to 5:30 this morning in the 1000 and 500 blocks of North Ashland. The victims, all men between 36 to 61 years old.
I hope they get caught. It sounds like it's definitely orchestrated, a bunch of people doing it in a bunch of neighborhoods. So I hope they figure out how to stop it and where it's starting.
You know how you can put a dent in some of the crime. I'm not saying you're going to stop all the crime. I mean, in Chicago, it is what it is. But where you could put a dent in it is by allowing more citizens to become armed easier. All right. If I lived in this area, I'm going to have it on me, ready to rock, because ain't nobody got time for that. And then they're assaulting the victims. Look, I'm not trying to get robbed. I'm not trying to get assaulted. I'm not trying to have you pull a gun on me, shoot me, beat me in the head with it. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm going to have it on me, ready to rock and roll. So whenever I'm approached with something or I see things looking kind of weird, I'm ready to defend myself.
Chicago police did arrest 3 people around 9:30 last night after an armed robbery led to a crash in Bucktown. The suspects were in a white SUV and had just robbed a 51-year-old woman in the 2000 block of Mozart before crashing. That vehicle is possibly connected to multiple robberies over the weekend, including one at the Illinois Auto Repair Shop off St. Louis Avenue.
Now watch this. We have what appears to be a broad daylight robbery you're going to see it unfold on a Ring camera.
Ring doorbell video shows the suspects with guns drawn, cornering a mechanic who worked there. They stole his wallet, and he said there was $2,000 cash inside. Coming up at 6:30, you'll hear directly from that victim as well as area aldermen reacting to this spike in crime.
So there you have it. That's what's going on right now in Chicago. Now, we have some articles right here. This is about the TV news case specifically. You see the headline, which is crazy. A Chicago TV crew was on scene covering armed robberies. Then they got robbed. Like, I'm not making this up. This is recent. This is yesterday. This August 29th, 2023, when this was released. And today, obviously, is August 30th. Let's get into this article a little bit. And, of course, I will link to everything in the box. So check it out. While on the scene covering a recent spate of armed robberies in Northeast Chicago on Monday, the police said a two-person TV crew became victims of an armed holdup themselves. According to information from the Chicago Police Department and a journalist news outlet, a Univision Chicago reporter and a photographer were gathering video shortly before 5 a.m. in the 1200 block of North Milwaukee Avenue. The area is less than 5 miles northeast of downtown and the city's Wicker Park neighborhood, and known for its shopping, eateries, dining, and nightlife. So Chicago residents, anyone that's been to Chicago, familiar with the area, is that a nice part of town? I presume it is. I mean, I would presume this is the place you want to have be available for tourists. So if I'm thinking about going to Chicago, going to the nightlife and the eateries, and I want to stay in this particular area, maybe I might want to think twice. And you know what? People talking about going to different countries to vacation. They might want to go to Mexico, and they're worried about the cartels and whatnot. Well, it's like, okay, well, you want to go to Chicago, you want to go to New York, L.A., you want to go to Rodeo and whatnot in L.A., you want to go somewhere like that in the U.S.? Are you more prone to having a violent act happen to you here in the States or in Mexico in their tourist areas? Y'all let me know what you think about that in the comments. Let's continue. Chicago police spokesperson Kelly Bartoli told USA Today that assault involved a 28-year-old. I'm reading some of this and I realize there's typos here. Okay, like, let's get the editor on deck. I'm not sure what the editor is doing, if he's just hanging out, chilling, playing video games, but let's get the editor back on the job. Anyway, let's start from this piece right here. Chicago police spokesperson Kelly Bartoli told USA Today that assault involved a 28-year-old man and a 42-year-old man who were outside on the street when a black SUV in the gray sedan approached them. That's crazy. When both vehicles stopped, police reported three unidentified males exited both vehicles wearing ski masks and holding firearms. The offenders then took the victims' belongings before returning to the vehicles and fleeing southbound. Victims were not injured. Gratefully, the crew is safe, Luis Godinez, local VP of News for Univision Chicago, told USA Today on Tuesday. So the masked men stole the news camera. Come on, the news camera, really? The equipment and more. The outlet reported the armed robbers took off with the news camera, 2 bags with equipment and personal belongings. Police did not release the victims' names, and the outlet was not releasing the names of the crew involved due to privacy reasons. Okay, so this is the area. You see right here on the map where it was. All right, now, I would presume this is a nice area. Okay, I wonder how much these hotels cost. Hyatt Place Chicago, Wicker Park, Hotel Lincoln. I've heard about Hotel Lincoln right there in Chicago. This is where the incident happened. Well, scratch Chicago off the list of places to visit. And shout out to everybody who is a Chicago native, a resident. But we got a crime issue. There's definitely a crime issue. I'll think about visiting there when the crime is fixed. A little bit, at least. Police did not provide additional details about the suspect's description. As of Tuesday morning, Bartoli said no arrests had been made in the case, which remained under investigation by detectives. Okay, so that's the case right there. You have a news crew getting robbed at gunpoint while they're covering the story about that very issue. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. It's totally crazy. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the law-abiding citizens of Chicago who are unfortunately kind of vulnerable. You see, your lawmakers, your leaders, or whatnot in the area don't want you to have guns, or they want to make it kind of hard for you to get guns. But the criminals have no problem, and the criminals understand that you guys probably not armed. That's why they're targeting you, in my humble opinion. If the criminals knew that everyone had guns and everyone was trained, maybe they think twice before rolling up on you and broad daylight taking your belongings from you. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what's happening in Chicago, where you can have people get robbed gunpoint, middle of the daytime, in front of people, on camera, and there's not really anything done. There's no suspect description released. And a news crew, journalists, getting robbed at gunpoint. And it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened before. Speaking about journalists specifically being robbed. It's not even the first time it's happened in Chicago. It's happened across the nation, but in Chicago, this is almost a pattern. They realize you guys are not probably going to do anything. You're not going to be armed. You have valuable equipment, so they just go and take whatever they want to take. As I said earlier in the video, a way to kind of reduce this crime and violence is to simply fight back. If you're not going to fight back, if you're going to be a sitting duck, if you're just going to let things happen, there might not be any arrest, there might not be any follow-up, no suspect description. They're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again because they've not been punished, they've not been checked, they've not been held accountable for their actions. So from their point of view, it's like, hey, I got a green light to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to keep on doing it. And they will until somebody or something puts an end to it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.